Hello everyone, and welcome back to the stream. This is Arjen, and we are going to be doing some more art. Last time we made some good progress on our Halloween illustration. We did some proper refining, but I did realize a lot of the little details are better to do off stream. Not because I don't like the streaming, but there's a lot of small stuff that takes a lot of time, and I think the streams are best used for showing you the good stuff, the major progress. So with that said, let's quickly remove that preparing screen. Now, you may have noticed there's a few changes. For instance, well, you know what, I'm not even gonna, let's just go back and forth a bit and I'll talk about each of the changes before we move on. So you notice this pumpkin looked terrible. It looks like half a circle with a dot on top. So I gave it a bit more volume, so it looked a bit more like this one. I also accentuated the little segments on that one. I gave the smoke some a little bit of a light line, so you can tell there's two layers of it. Changed a little bit about the shadow in the water. Just little stuff like that, just making it all a bit more polished. Sorry about that, I was briefly, secretly marketing a little bit. So, our first order of business is to start polishing this piece, and this is kind of a thing I've been thinking about for a while now. This illustration has a certain, how shall I say, simple beauty, I think. Like, I don't want to be talking myself up too much. I don't want to say it's like an amazing piece, but what I'm really trying to say is there's something to be said for those hard shadows, in my opinion at least. So how am I gonna be refining it? I could soften the shadows and light, and that could be a good idea, but I'm worried the picture will lose some charm. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna save a new version. We're gonna start softening all the light and shadow a bit, and we're gonna see how that looks. Now that we have our colors in a place that's pretty nice, let's do that. So let's turn the opacity way down, and let's start gently polishing this a bit, making this a bit softer there. There we go. That's not looking too bad. Obviously, we'll need to polish it further, but I'm just trying something here. By the way, if you're interested, the soundtrack in the background is the To the Moon soundtrack. To the Moon is a rather emotional little game. I like it. Not really Halloween appropriate per se, but you know. In the end, the scariest thing of all are sad feels. Yeah, I foresee no problems with this kind of shading. Let's quickly, you know what, let's keep... We can knock this version out for now. Let's keep open the version 5, so we can compare how much it's changed. Yeah, this is pretty nice, isn't it? Hello, Artie. Welcome to the stream. You missed Rusty Bucket Bay yesterday in Banjo. Do you know where to find it on YouTube in case you wanted to watch that? Because we managed to finish Rusty Bucket Bay and Banjo in one go. But now it's back to doing some art. I do have to work as well. Might as well use the streams for that too. Yeah, I actually think this could work really well with the soft lighting. I was skeptical at first, but now that I'm looking at it like this, I'm starting to get on board, shall we say. Yeah, the gold feathers were somewhat helpful, but it was a difficult area even with the gold feathers. But hey, we made it through. Some people offered some useful tips, and of course I remembered all of your tips as well. So how are you doing? You doing all right? Having a nice Monday? Whoops, that might be a bit too much. Yeah, let's make the horizon a bit more intense, shall we? I'm still drawing in the right file. Sometimes I am worried that I start drawing in the wrong file. We're gonna have to do some extra polishing. Let's make sure actually we only have the orange selected. Kinda hard to tell where it's selecting. That's good to hear. Mondays can be a bit hard to really get into the flow of things. So a good Monday is always worth... it's worth twice as much as any other good day. For me, at least. Here's a slightly small part. Oh, you watched the last stream already? Cool. It's nice to hear you're keeping up with it. It's always cool. It was a pretty tough area. Another person came onto the stream, and I actually thought he was you for a second, because you had like a P at the start of the name and I wasn't paying attention. So that was a little bit goofy. Alright, let's just make sure the shading is nice and soft everywhere. See how that works for us. With some surfaces I foresee no issues, but with like more complex shapes it might be a bit harder to make it work. But hey, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. I hope everyone is having a nice day today. It's always an interesting time of year when the autumn comes around once again. I always get a little pensive around these days, reflecting on things, you know. Especially with the sad music in the background. Wow, I sound like I'm a YouTuber making an update video or something. Yeah, let's make sure that looks nice. We'll have to harden some of these edges again later, but that's fine. After all, we saved a separate version specifically to make sure nothing would be permanent. That allows me to bravely stroke the brush where it may. That sounded wrong. I have no idea why I have this green. Let's get rid of that for now. There we go. Let's soften up these shadows here. Gotta turn that opacity down again. In this case, I'm trying not to use soft brushes, but rather use my usual texture brush. Hey Thomas, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. We're checking to see if softening the light and shadow in this drawing makes it look nicer. Well, we're testing to see if that works. I've been thinking about how to properly polish this piece, because on the one hand I could do what I do with my other drawings and use the hard lines and shadows, but then it would kind of already be finished in this state, you know. So I'm just trying to see what will happen with a bit of soft light now. So I'm definitely interested to hear what you think too. We might have to change a few things as we go along, but that's what's exciting about it. Soften these edges a little bit. We don't want this piece to be edgy, we want this piece to be adorable. And in my opinion, it is pretty adorable already. Just look at this goofy dragon boy. His goofy smile. Now that I'm having so much fun with this, I really feel bad for how long I've left drawing full illustrations. Like, I've not been doing it because it's such an investment of time. But once you're actually doing it, you really know, you really feel it's worth it, you know? It's just so much fun to make these things. I may have to switch to a more happy soundtrack soon if this keeps up, because I'm gonna get sad. I listen to the Moon for too long. Yeah, let's soften that up a bit. Whoa, a sound effect. Oh, I got a message in one of the chats, right. Sorry about that. Just gotta keep an eye out on all the different platforms. This is definitely one thing that's tough about art streaming, is I stream to 3 different platforms. And that's completely my own fault. I mean, I could just stream to one if I wanted to, but... I like to cast a wide net, shall we say. There's people who prefer to watch streams on YouTube, and people who prefer to watch them on Twitch. Oh, it's time for the best track. It's time for the best track. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit so you can hear it. Are you feeling the emotions? Yeah, what I like about To the Moon is everything. Now, what I like about To the Moon is its ability to tell a story that is meaningful, like even on a kind of societal or political level, if you will, without being obnoxious about it. Like, it's a great story, even if you ignore what you could call the political edge it has. Like, I doubt... It wasn't marketed with that either. But, how much can I tell without spoiling too much? So, in To the Moon, you play as 2 doctors. And they are part of an entirely new medical field that essentially helps people when people are going to die and nothing can stop it. They can change something in their memory so they'll have like have experienced something they've always wanted to experience. So it's kind of make their final wish come true. And the game revolves around one guy called Johnny who wanted to go to the moon. Yep. I also cry every time, legitimately. But yeah, so he wants to go to the moon, and throughout the adventure, you're trying to find out why. Because you have to change something in his memory so he went to the moon, but it has to make sense. Right, so you have to go through his past and find, like, why does he want to go to space now? What was missing in his past that made him not want to then? And essentially, one important part of the story is his wife, who died like a while before him. And his wife has some kind of... how to describe it? I believe she has Asperger's, maybe? Something on the autism spectrum. Which causes her to have some trouble, like... They love each other, but they have some trouble communicating some things. That plays a major part in the story. But I can't exactly explain how, because that would be the spoilers. But it's a good story. And very sad. Yeah, maybe add a little bit of light here. Nah, it shouldn't be an orange light, then it should be red. There we go. Anyways, I went on a tangent and completely forgot what I was talking about. So, To the Moon, emotional game. I liked it. And the developers are finally gonna release their new game, which is called Finding Paradise. Now that's an interesting thing to me, because To the Moon sounds like a fairly normal wish for someone, like, right? A lot of people wish they set foot on other planets, but finding paradise is kind of, at the same time, very understandable, but a little bit outlandish. Because, well, paradise is kind of what you make of it. So I wonder if that's gonna be, well, unless you're talking in a religious sense, of course, but I wonder if they're gonna take a religious angle with that. I'm definitely interested to see it anyway. See, he does need to have some of that light coming out of his nostrils as well. There we go. Let's make sure that tongue has some soft lighting as well. See, let's compare for making decent headway. Yeah, we're going pretty quickly. That's good, that's good. Let's keep at it. Well, Artie, it's more the, it's like by association. At least, oh, for me, it doesn't necessarily make me cry, right? But it's pretty. It plays in pretty emotional scenes. Like, to properly understand, you would probably have to play To the Moon. I think it's been in a few Humble Bundles. I'm sure you could pick it up at some point if you wanted to. Ooh, it is time for the spooky music. By the way, is the music too loud? I can turn it down a bit if it's too loud now. see. Let me check if my connection is still stable. It's pretty stable. Not very, but pretty stable. Oh, I see. I'm definitely more of the melodious music type person. Alright, Thomas, thanks for your feedback. I gotta keep an eye out. Ooh, wow, my voice. I gotta keep an eye out. I gotta keep an eye out for the levels, because the balance between music and voice can get really bad if I'm not paying close attention. Like, sometimes the setup will be good at the start, and then I suddenly move in really close to the microphone, and it'll sound really terrible. Right, let's make this. We don't want that. We don't want to make the opacity too high, but not too low either. We need to be taking serious steps after all, but we don't want to be wrecking the whole piece either. It's all about balance. Balance slays the demon. Oh, now we have to hear that track from Alan Wake's American Nightmare. It has to happen. I know it's gonna get copyright struck on YouTube, but I think we're past the point of caring about that. Nice. I do really enjoy painting this. Diddy Kong Racing. I have played it a few times, but it's a bit like Banjo in that regard, that I never played much of it. I thought it was really cool though, having a racing game that operates a bit like a collectathon platformer with an open world you can drive through and such. It was very cool, very cool. Maybe that's another game I need to stream at some point. Like once we get done with Banjo-Tooie. And whatever's next. Let's add a little light here, because the shadow shouldn't be quite that thick. Yeah, there we go. Gotta show those contours. There's a fine line between soft and dirty here, so we gotta be careful we don't cross it too much.
Short steps, deep breath. Everything is alright.
Oh no.
Chin up.
More feels.
I can't step into the spotlight. She said I'm sad, somehow without any words. I just stood there, searching for an answer. When this world is no more, the moon is all we'll see. I'll ask you to fly away with me until the stars all fall down. They empty from the sky, but I don't mind if you're with me, then everything's alright. Why do my words always lose their meaning? What I feel, what I say, there's such a rift between them. He said I can't really seem to read you. I just stood there, never know what I should do. When this world is no more, the moon is all we'll see. I'll ask you to fly away with me.
You never cry, huh? Well, we all deal with our emotions in different ways. That's fine. I get pretty emotional, but I rarely actually cry. Like actual tears, that's extremely rare for me. It does happen, but it's uncommon. Anyways, that was Everything's Alright by Laura Shigihara, who is also the composer for Plants vs. Zombies. She actually made her own game as well, similar to the moon. It's called Rakuen, or Rakuen, and it's about a boy in the hospital. So another game that will undoubtedly hit you with the feels at every turn. I'm thinking about trying that at some point. But first things first, there are so many games I need to try after all. So many games, so little time. Yeah, the piece definitely gains something, but it also loses something from this transition. What I think I'm gonna do after I'm done here is I'm gonna test, like I'm gonna show two versions to a lot of people and maybe like question them on which version they really prefer. Because I think that might be interesting. I've been trying to poll people on things lately more and more, because I think gathering feedback is important. And I've been slacking off in that regard. It's easy to get comfortable with what you're doing, but it's always good to question. There we go. Yes, you've mentioned that actually. It's healthy to work out, I suppose, but I don't think muscle necessarily gives you the ability not to cry. Though I'm no professional on the whole working out thing. After all, strength is not only physical. To get really pretentious and hippie-like for a second. Yeah, we gotta be careful of smudging the whole thing up. We still want everything to be a nice, defined shape. But at the same time, we don't want to be polishing the same bit for 10 minutes at a time. Yeah, I think this is starting to look pretty nice. I see I've been paired with an artist called Taco Cat on Watch Me Work. That's cool. 3 people watching on YouTube or Watch Me Work. So welcome to everyone. Kind of weird to say welcome when we're already 40 minutes in, but you know. I just want to make everyone feel welcome, including people that appear at 40 minutes in. After all, it's not about when you show up. It's about showing up at all. That's what shows your true character. Time and place are such temporary things after all. Wow. Listening to sad music makes me existential, apparently. Anyway, enough goofy nonsense. From now on, it's all about the art. This is one of those moments I think it would have been better to have the background indeed on a separate layer rather than as part of the whole piece. Yeah, we don't want this effect too strong. Too strong. Those spines on the front could also do with some soft shading, I think. So let's do that. Yeah, I wonder if I should give the sky a bit more tonal variation by increasing the size of this gradient. I was just kind of pretending I didn't see it, because it would be a lot of work to adapt it. This is one of those situations, I think I was starting to say this before and then didn't finish the thought, but Paint Tool Sai, no, what is it? Clip Studio Paint, I think is a bit better at selecting the colors. Otherwise, I actually prefer Photoshop most of all, probably because I'm used to it, but I do like Clip Studio Paint's way of selecting colors. Let's think about Banjo-Kazooie when we get back to it, Artie. It's I'm trying not to spoil things, you know. It's good to like, I like to experience it when I play it, you know. I'm probably going to forget about that anyway. Cause yeah. When I'm drawing, that's all I can think about. Nah, but seriously, I do, like I said, I appreciate the tips and tricks, but remember to leave some space for my own exploration and interpretation. I think it's finally time to do something about this cave here. I'm gonna have to fix the shadow now, but that's fine. So I say hello to the artist on Watch Me Work. Huh. I say hello to the artist on Watch Me Work, and they immediately leave the room. It's like Tinder. Okay, that was silly. That was silly. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's get some of that nice shading. Shading is a lot easier once you just have the right colors. You know, a lot of those pieces I was kind of worrying about how to transition the colors into each other while forgetting to have the right colors. Like when you have the right colors, it kind of happens naturally, you know? Well, of course, there are still things that can change and whatever, but it already looks a lot better than some other drawings did in their concept stages, right? Because some drawings I had to really change a lot of stuff to make them more presentable. For those just joining us, because I do see some viewers appearing on Twitch, this is a Halloween illustration, which I am working on. We've been going all the way from a concept to from a rough concept to a more polished drawing to now a more softly shaded painting. So it's rather fun. It's been a while since I've done a painting, even though that's how my Twitch career, if you can call it that, started. Okay, Laura, take it down a notch. So yeah, this is the Halloween illustration, and hopefully we're gonna get it done before Halloween. The way it's looking, I think we're getting pretty close to it. Of course, there's a lot we can polish, but it let's be honest here. At this point, it was already in a state where you could probably show it and have it be a pretty decent drawing, at least in my opinion. There's definitely a few things, a few details we'll have to think about as we continue to polish. Like these little guys over here. Those are gonna be a bit of trouble if we want to refine the other colors. There will be trouble. I've also been trying to make progress with Silent Hill 4. It's good, but it's definitely shaping up to be my least favorite Silent Hill thus far. And like I mentioned, why it's kind of a huge escort mission, the second half of it. Like I actually think there's lots of really cool ideas to it. This whole concept of in the real world, the main character is stuck in his apartment and he can't get out. And the only way he can get out is through, like, Dark World, Silent Hill versions of the surrounding areas. It's very interesting. Like, there's a certain strange feeling to walking around outside your own apartment, but in, like, the alternative world version of it. Kind of makes you rethink how time and space works. So that's very cool. But in the second half of the game, there's a lady you have to protect. And, well, let's just say her AI isn't very good. She has a tendency to either, if you arm her with a weapon, she will run straight for the monsters and try hitting them. If you don't, she'll stop and stare at them. So that's a bother. There's still a lot of cool stuff to it, though. Alright, we've moved on from To the Moon to different videos, so let's pick something else. Let me just briefly look at what we have. Yeah, let's go for Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is always nice. Turn that stuff up. Let's listen to the work of art by Yasunori Mitsuda. who also composed for Mario Party. Yeah, I'm concerned this face is a bit too smudgy now. So let's define some areas that aren't as lit as the rest. And let's define some areas that should be lit. Like around the mouth here. You gotta love Chrono Trigger. So far ahead of its time. Time, get it? Cause Chrono Trigger. It's always weird to play a game that predicts like the end of the world at 1999 though. The day of Lavos. I wonder if we should add just a bit more. I don't know. Stuff is just generally getting darker as it gets close to the camera. Which is nice looking, but I was wondering if it looked weird when you compare this pumpkin to that pumpkin. Maybe we want to dull his lights a little bit. Not that much. And add some light in his mouth. There we go. That definitely adds a little something to the piece. I'm assuming you're working on your animation, Thomas. I hope that's going well. It's looking really awesome when you showed your progress. Nice, nice. Really looking forward to seeing the rest of it, but that turnaround you sent was already quite impressive. It's definitely a treat seeing some animation from you again. It's cool. I hope I can show that animation I've been working on soon as well. We should be going into the final feedback round with that soon, so yeah. I'm not. There's still parts of it that I'm not quite proud of, but that the client likes. So, you know, I'm always shy about showing stuff like that. But I'll once the client renders it, well, I'll show you the animation. Let's make sure that light is nice and soft. Soft lighting is beautiful. When you think about it, this guy is the only one who has like fingers, or at least something that resembles fingers. Well, let's make sure they're all well lit. They're pretty simple humanoid figures, but I think they're good enough for a crowd that isn't really the center of attention. After all, our Dragon Boy is really the star of the show. I've forgotten to add one of those harder light edges. After all, we can't do it with just soft light. There has to be some hard light as well. And that's the hard truth. Yeah, they definitely look like they're more part of the piece now. Nice. Yeah, it is great to just work on some art for ourselves again, isn't it? Like, it makes sense. It's great that we can make art as work. But sometimes it's nice to just sit down and make something just for you, you know? I hope we can make a Christmas drawing around the Christmas days as well. That drawing I made then is probably one of my favorites I've done. That's probably still the drawing I made last Christmas. Probably still consider that one my best. The one with the penguins, with the hard purple and intense yellow. That's one of those pieces where I just kinda didn't have the colors right, but I tried so hard to polish it, right? I kept polishing and polishing and polishing. And nothing worked, and that's because the basic colors just weren't there. So in the end, you offered the justified but difficult feedback to try and completely reset the board on those colors. So I did, and it ended up being a better piece for it. Those were the days. And I still consider that one of my better paintings, the one with the penguins, the Christmas one. I hope I can, I hope this one will end up looking even better. And the Christmas one for this year will look even better than that. Thank you, thank you. Well, Artie, you can suggest something, but I can't promise that I'm gonna play it, right? Cause I have pretty particular tastes when it comes to music, and you mentioned electric area and rap music, which is, well, it's not really for me, I think. But you can suggest something, but well, please don't be offended if I don't play it. Because we all have our own tastes in the end. Oh, whoops. Well, that's a dark shade. Shadows don't need to be soft, though. It's important to remember. We can do hard shading as well. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. We can always that's okay, Artie. It's just you can suggest something if you want. You just, you know, just keep that in mind. Alright, I'm glad to hear it. And thank you. You mean... Oh, commercials. Tusk YouTube. Okay, I'm definitely gonna get copyright struck for this one, but I'll leave it on just for you for a little bit. I'll have to turn it down a bit though, cause it's I gotta be able to hear myself. Whoa. It should be. I think it's record. Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought so. I thought it had to be that one. It would be weird if it was a different song with the exact same name and artists. That would be very strange indeed. But stranger things have happened. Alright, now that we've softened the light on these guys, let's soften the shadow. Oh, I did mention, I already know what song I'm gonna do next. We need to do Balance Slays the Demon from Alan Wake 2. Waste too much more time getting these guys more well defined, because in the end they're just a prop. They exist to serve. That sounds kind of condescending. They exist to support this dragon here, and who wouldn't want to support this this boy over here? Just look at him. And that was I Know by Steve Angelo. Right, so to get back into the Halloween atmosphere for a second, let's Balance Slays the Demon by Poets of the Fall. It's extremely cheesy and fun. I love it. No, it's alright. This definitely isn't usually my kind of music, but every time a catchy song starts, I have to stop myself from singing along. This isn't a social singing stream after all. And then a few seconds after I say that, the temptation grows ever more to start singing along. A streamer I like is playing this this game, not right now, but he streamed it last night, I think. So I'm gonna be looking forward to watching the VOD of that. Wonder what he thinks of the American Nightmare edition to Alan Wake. Yeah, it was quite cool. I'm really sad that they never went and did anything more with Alan Wake. That was a game that definitely had a bit of an identity crisis between being like a horror game, more thriller, mystery focused, and being an action game. But it ended up being very cool in its own way. Hopefully we'll see more from it in the future. After all, Remedy Entertainment still exists. I'm gonna have like 20 copyright claims on this video. But like I said, it's fine. It's fine. The YouTube channel is more of a way to document these streams. I don't think I'm ever... the Twitch is with the kind of the main event here, not YouTube. Well, not to talk down to YouTube and watch me work, because those are great platforms to work with. But Twitch is just currently the best platform to gain and retain an audience. With YouTube, gaming can kind of work, but art definitely, definitely not. Anyways, I just said these guys were already fine for being background props, and then I keep working on them anyway. It's almost 10 PM, huh? That's true, actually. Just 15 more minutes. When balance slays the demon, you'll find peace. Okay, sorry. No singing, no singing. You don't want to hear me sing, I already know that. The Unraveling. Ha 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 ha, indeed. Man, what a great song. What a great song. Let's do another Alan Wake one, since we're in the mood anyway. And the the Poets of the Fall are gonna copyright claim the heck out of my video anyway. Please, no commercials. Come on, YouTube. Hey Rockroller, welcome to the stream. Yeah, time zones, right? Time zones are such a bother when it comes to planning these things. A lot of my favorite streamers don't actually stream until it's like in the middle of the night for me. One of my favorite streamers streams at 4 PM my time, because it's like 8 PM in the evening for him. Nothing we can do about it, I guess. It's unfortunate. But I always appreciate you stopping by anyway. We've been working on polishing this drawing. So here's the old, here's the new. Yeah, I do hope we'll see another Alan Wake or something from Remedy Entertainment. They made this Quantum Break game, didn't they? Some kind of story, half series, half game thing. I wonder if that's any good. I've heard mixed things about it. By stories he'd create, nightmares shifted endlessly in the darkness of the lake. And now to see your love set free, you will need the witch's cabin key. This is starting to look pretty good. I said it like twice, but it's true. There's a lot of small detail thingies I want to do off stream, so we can set the major steps when we're actually streaming again. So I'm gonna finish up a few things and then we're gonna call this a stream. Because 2 hours I think is a perfect length for game streams. I'm not so sure about art streams. For me at least. It's gonna vary from person to person after all. There's something to be said for games that have original songs specifically made for the game. Like a lot of games have background music, obviously, but having like a song where you actually write the lyrics to fit the game, that's something I respect in particular.
Robuust.
Wow, commercials. Beer commercials, even. Let's do Ori and the Blind Forest. That's alright, Rockroller. It's fine. I just appreciate people being here and joining in on the conversation. It's absolutely fine. Like, you don't need to. There's no demand for you to offer detailed insight on the drawing. Like, if you have just thoughts about it, you're always free to share them. But we can always talk about anything, really. You know. It's all about being a chill, positive stream. I definitely want to play Pyre too, actually. I've played Bastion and Transistor, and they're both amazing games. I think I just barely prefer... well, you know what? I'm not even going to make any controversial statements. They're both great games. Let's leave it at that. But yeah, I do want to try Pyre. I was initially, well, put off is a big word, but I was initially, like, slightly skeptical, because it looked more like a sports game. Of course, that shouldn't make it less interesting, but, you know... I do want to give it a shot in the nearby future. This music is from Ori and the Blind Forest, by the way. I want to increase the gradient in the sky, but I don't want to muddy the whole thing too much. Also, I think I moved away from the microphone a bit. Yeah, this piece looks way more... it looks like it has way more depth. Comparatively, this looks quite flat. Look at this. I think we've managed to take some serious steps in the past few minutes. Now the question is, of course, what next? This light is probably a bit too hard. I mean, on top of the nose. Because it is the edge that is dark. So let's make it a bit more subtle. We'll also make the whole thing look a bit less noisy here. After all, the red smoke from the nostrils is already doing a lot to draw attention to this part. We don't need to make the light too exaggerated to do that. Light could definitely do with a bit of softening and polish here. But that's the kind of thing I'm mostly going to be doing off stream. Because you don't want to watch me fiddle about with tiny little areas for 2 hours at a time. At least I don't think there's a market for that, but I could be wrong. I'm really hyped for the new Ori game they announced. Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Or as many people aptly called it, Ori and the Instant Tears. I want to change something about this eye. Let's start a new version. Like, I wasn't going to do anything more daring in this stream, but you know me. Sometimes I just can't stop myself. Going up on the roofs, going smooth this, smooth that. Yeah, what I think is, what if we make the white of the eyes, how do you call it? The sclera? I don't know anatomy. But what if we make that dark? To have the eye be even more clear. She's gonna check how it looks, that's why I saved a separate version. Gives the eye a bit more room to breathe. Yeah, I like that actually. I like this. At the very least, I like that the eyes that the eye has some white, quote unquote. Look at how intense it is too. Let's soften those edges a bit. Maybe make the pupil a bit smaller, though we want to be careful not to lose cute factor here. Like, it doesn't need to, it needs to be cute, not creepy. So we'll have to move cautiously. Because that line is easily crossed, after all. Big eyes can be cute, but if you do big eyes wrong, they're scary. After all. Should he have like a tear duct? Or like, I don't know, yeah, something like that. Might be an unnecessary detail, but... well... This actually increased the scariness factor a bit, I have to say. Yeah, he looks kind of doofy here. He looks a bit more intimidating like this, doesn't he? And one reason is because he lost his... Ori, please. Not so loud. Because he lost his eyebrow. So what if he reestablished that? Does the cuteness recover if we do? Are you seriously gonna do commercials? And no, it's not. Commercials. Oh man. Yeah, he'll need a brow if we want to make this less creepy. I love how much context you can give to an expression with just the eyebrow, right? This is something I think about a lot, but it can be... This is sort of malevolent. This is concerned or sad. This is kind of tired. It kind of gets this gleeful, happy feeling when you put it on the edge. Like it has the eyes wide open kind of feeling. So you know what? We're gonna try that. There he has a little eyebrow now. I don't know how well this works, honestly. Let's try something. Yeah, we're just experimenting to see if we can make this a bit cuter again, without losing that extra detail we just gained. Yeah, the eye needs a bit of shadow. Makes the stare look a bit less intense. Yeah, it's a bit cuter, but not much. I think that yellow line just doesn't make any sense. This is the very brightest side and it's red, so it can't be yellow. That wouldn't make any sense. If it were yellow, it would be lit by the eye and it would be on the other side, so let's fix that. The shadow will have to be enough to show this eyebrow. Interesting. Let's see how the stream is doing. We have dropped a few frames, but nothing too much. I wonder, like, some days it's just fine. Don't know why the connection is so unstable sometimes. Anyway, I like the eyebrow we just added. Now we're gonna soften this shadow a little bit, because there is such a thing as too much shadow. The hedgehog. And especially the pupil cannot be shadowed because it's a hole. Even though it's a very bright hole in this... Okay, man, wording, please. So the pupil is essentially a very dark spot. But in this piece it's a very bright one. So do we want to light it with any more lights like this? Lights that are the same color as the pupil. That just gives the pupil a strange shape, so I don't think so. It looks like I drew a circle here. What is this? Weird. Sometimes goofy little mistakes just sneak in, huh? Fortunately, it's easy to fix. Just gotta redo a few things, retrace our steps. There we go. Here's his weird eyebrow. Okay, Thomas, thanks a lot for visiting the stream. It's always really nice to have you around. See you later then. Bye-bye. The stream is probably gonna end soon anyway, so you're likely not gonna miss too much. Ori and the Blind Forest had some great music. I know I keep gushing about different games and things on this stream, but, well, it's good to enjoy a lot of things, isn't it? That's my opinion anyway. We don't get very far with cynicism. It's good to enjoy things. This is why I always prefer fans over haters of something. Like, some things undeniably have annoying fan bases, but I will still always if people behave in a bad way, that's never alright, but I still respect it more when it's done out of appreciation for something than it is for hating something. If that makes any sense. So someone posts a meme from whatever, Rick and Morty / Undertale / Steven Universe, whatever. It can be annoying, absolutely, but I will always find it more annoying when someone comes in and on whatever material to tell us how quote-unquote cancerous the fan base is or whatever. That's to me, that's a lot more annoying. Because it's both wasted energy, putting something where it doesn't belong, but at least the heart of someone who loves something is in the right place. Like, they're not doing it to annoy you, they're not doing it to bring you down. People who hate stuff and dedicate time to that are. That doesn't really fit with my philosophy of positivity. But now I'm talking about negativity, so maybe that doesn't fit either. Let's see. Make sure all the cables are still attached. Man, just like with Banjo, I keep saying, oh, okay, it's gonna end soon. And then it doesn't end. Streaming is addictive in its own little way, you know? It's just... it's a good motivator to keep working. It makes sense that the smoke is actually lit by the nostrils, because it literally comes from there. There we go. Well, I think that's about it for this stream. It's not quite as long as the banjo streams, I know, but it's all about making progress, and I'm feeling like the progress is slowing down to the point that it's probably going to be better to polish a lot of things off stream and get back to you once we can make some serious steps again. But actually, we are pretty close to being done with this one, so maybe the next stream will be a new piece. We'll just have to see about that. So, with all that said, let's compare once more where we started and where we are. Let's make a nice save of this one. Save that to the desktop so I can post it everywhere and annoy people with it. Right, oh, punched the microphone. Sorry about that. So, with that, I think we're gonna close the stream down. So, thank you to Artie, to Thomas, to Rockroller, to all of you guys visiting the stream. I really do appreciate it. It can be discouraging when you're working on art for a long time and there's, you know, it's no one there. So you guys make it all, you guys give me motivation. So thanks a lot. And with all that said, I'm going to go offline now and work on a few other things as well. So thanks again for visiting. I hope you have a great day or night. And if you're watching this on YouTube, also thanks a lot. Feel free to leave a comment with your feedback. And remember to check twitch.tv.arjan. That's G-A-R-A-R-J-A-E. Blah, blah. Wow. I gotta prepare a phrase. I gotta be like Markiplier. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. So remember to check twitch.tv/ArjenDesign. That's A-R-J-E-N Design for more streams. Right, now that the overly long outro is done with, I'm gonna call it here. So thanks again and see you later. Bye bye.